Hello everyone, we are back for another day working on or continuation of building Maverick's F-14 Tomcat from the movie Top Gun made by Revell. And we are on part 2. So last time we started on the cockpit, did a bunch of decals and a little bit of painting. As you can see, I've put in one of the seats and I haven't put in the second one yet, although it is painted and ready to go. Although I just realized I haven't painted the buckles for the seat belts, so I still need to do that with my silver paint. The next step that they want me to do is actually put the cockpit into the fuselage like that and glue that in, and then they want me to put the seat in, and I can understand why now looking at it, because if I glue the seat in, the main pilot seat in, and then try to put it in, there's a very good chance that it'll get caught when trying to slide it up past this piece here. I don't know if you can see that right in there. It'll get caught in there. So they want you to put it in from the top, and so that will make life easier. So I can wait on doing that. So for now, I realized the underside of this is actually part of the front landing gear pod, so I've painted that white like it's supposed to be. I don't know if you can see the detail. It's getting washed out in the color here. Yeah, it's just everything's too bright. Let's try this. Turn that off. There we go. Now you can see that. So I've painted that white. Yes, I'm back, you Aleph. Yeah. So looking at some more pictures of the F-14s, the instructions wanted me to paint this part light gray, or like a medium gray. It's what it's calling for in the instructions. But looking at every picture of the F-14s, this looks either very dark gray or even black. So I went with a dark gray on it, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. I think it looks more like the real thing. Doing the medium gray it didn't look right. It's just, yeah. So that's what I'm going for. So like I said, the next step they want me to do is put that in there, but I'm going to hold off on that for now, because I realized after actually watching some clips of the movie Top Gun, just how different the colors and grays are on the different panels of this plane. I'm going to have to utilize probably 3 different shades of gray, just to make it a little bit more movie accurate looking. I've watched some guys other guys on YouTube and stuff like that who've built this exact thing, and they're painting all the different panels, the different colors and stuff, different shades of gray, and it looks like, they've replaced one here because it was maybe damaged or something, and so it looks like a brand new shiny panel here or there, and all that kind of stuff. And you can see all the weathering and stuff that these planes go through, being on the ocean and stuff. But like I've said before, I don't have an airbrush, so doing that type of detail is not something that I can really do. So one thing I really do quite often when I need to do something like this is I will make a template and cut parts of it out to put over top, and then spray paint with a spray can, because I always use it to me as paints for that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to, I got a decent picture of the plane here at the back page. I'm going to photocopy this the same exact size as this, so that I can have a template and I can cut the holes out in it, and then I can lay that over top of this and then spray paint, and that will get me the individual little sections and panels that I want to have colored different. But that is not today. So this part where I'm putting the cockpit in there, I'm going to hold off on that, and I'm going to move on to what they want me to do next, and that's work on the bottom half of the fuselage a little bit. They want me to put the jet intakes on here and here. And so, first thing they want me to do is put in the fans. So these two fans right here, as you can see, I've already started painting a little bit, doing the white for the wheels and the landing gear, and I did the gunmetal gray for those. So, I'll get these off of here. Clean them up very much or not. Maybe a little bit. Up there. I just want to see something here. Okay, so these just sit down right in there. Like that. Just like that. Nothing too complicated there. There we go. It's sticking very well there. It's okay, I can fix that. Same with this one. Okay, so those are there. Now, I'm going to grab those two pieces out of the box. One, two. As a side note, these pieces here, they go here and here. I think they go a little further like this. Okay. And they kind of sit like that. And I get them backwards this side. Something like that. Anyway, they sit kind of like that on the bottom of the fuselage. And they allow you to put the 4 missiles there and there. And having just watched some clips from the movie, the plane that Maverick's flying doesn't have those. The plane is like that. And the bottom literally looks like that. They do not have the provisions for the missiles. Had I not just watched the scene, I would have put these on and I would have put those 4 missiles there. But his plane doesn't have them. And, well, I'm trying to mimic the movie's plane, so I am not going to be installing these. And that saves me from having to paint 4 missiles. And I could actually save them for a future build on something, because there they are there. These are the ones that will go there. Yeah, so that's going to simplify that part a little bit. This really doesn't want to stay on there. Stubborn entrance. Anyway, so these guys, they go right here. Wrong side. There we go. And there. And that's how they go. But of course, they don't. You really gotta see this fit here. This has to really, there we go, almost clicks in to fit. Now, because the landing gear thing is right there, like this towards the camera, so the landing gear pod's right here beside it. That needs to be painted white inside there. And I think I want to do that before actually gluing this on, just because it's a little bit easier to access with my brush without that in the way. Because if it's in the way, then I can't, it's going to be hard to get the detail on this kind of an angle. I'd be stuck having to be like this. And so I'm going to paint this white first. Because I'm using my brush and not my spray paint, it's probably going to take 3 or 4 coats, but that's okay. So that I will do now. I'm going to paint that now. I just got to grab that white paint. Do I have it out here? No. So white. Let's put it there. While I'm at it, I might as well paint that little spot in there white too, because that's for the front. Normally I just spray paint all the landing gear white, and I've even just masked off the areas here before and spray painted. You know what, I'm going to do that. Screw it, I'm not going to use a brush. I'm going to spray paint it. Because I can. Let's see. And maybe I want to be a little lazy. I don't know. Maybe it does technically take a little more work to spray paint. It's going to be interesting to determine how far up this wall I need to paint though. Do I just paint that entire wall white? I don't know. What did they do? It looks like they painted that entire wall white. So, yeah, that whole section along there, that's white. If I put this on, what's that going to look like? Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to cut some smaller pieces. Detail here. that. There. It's actually curved. Okay, that's fine. I'll have to do two small ones. And one side will be done. There we go. And that's one side done. Next, all right. More little guys. See, this is the kind of thing where it'd probably be better to have some kind of a time lapse So who wants to watch masking tape being applied, you know? Anybody. It's not like this is an instructional video on how to apply masking tape. Right? Right. Done. Now that's done. Let's make sure I don't get overspray on anything. What do I want to use? I think I will use so I got options. I can either use a piece of paper and mask that down, or I can use paper towel. I don't think I've got any paper just lying around. I might not. No, I don't. Let me see, what can I use? I know. I can use this. And then I will mask that down over there, like that. Not that there's going to be a lot of overspray, but it's just to be careful. If I can avoid having to respray the gray, then that's a bonus. If I do happen to get some overspray, it's not the end of the world. I just respray the gray. But like I said, if I can avoid it, that is best. Of course, if I were to get some overspray on those jet fans, that might make me a little upset because, well, a little bit more difficult to spray those again. ready. Where's my white? Okay. Just like that, we've got some white. So far, it doesn't look like I got any overspray anywhere. Oh, got some bleeding. So I did have some well, I don't know. Is it technically overspray if it just bled through, bled between two pieces of tape? I'll show you in a second once I get the last piece of tape off here. So you can see right there, right by my finger. Right there. It's seeped in between two pieces of the paint, or the tape. And scratching the white away took the other paint I had on there off. You can just barely tell. It almost looks like there's a scratch there now. Kind of worried about it. Probably not, because with the landing gear there and everything, the doors that go there, probably never going to see it. So it doesn't really matter. It's not like it's a brand new plane anyway, right? Okay. So that's done. Now I can move on to putting these in. You see with that on there, you can see where that white edge is. And that's all part of the landing gear bay. Make sure this fits right. exactly where I'm going to apply the glue. On there, and there, and there. Okay. Extra layer just to make sure it's going to stay put where it belongs. That way it's popping up. It's nice at the front, but it's not nice at the back. So hopefully that holds. Just give it a minute. Yeah, that's better. That held. Okay, the other side. It's right there. So it's still not the best fit. Still wants to pop up. I think I might have to hold it down. I'm gonna have to. Try holding that with the clamp for a couple of minutes. Just let that sit. The two little pointy ends need to be held down too. But I'll get the back to sit first. It's this kind of stuff that you don't really have an issue with Tamiya models on. the Tamiya fitment is just spectacular in comparison to other brands. Um, Although I did build, I've built one Hasegawa brand model. I got the F-22 um, from Hasegawa, and it was a really nice build too. Not quite as precise as the Tamiya models are, but very good. Um, but I suppose that's what they make putty for, right? Is for when the parts don't fit precisely. Okay, let's see if it's going to hold now. You're going to stay where you belong. If I put that like that, you still want to come up. I'm just going to hold it by hand. This is why I don't like streaming the builds, because do you really want to sit and watch me for 5 minutes while I just sit here holding this? It's not very exciting. It's like watching paint dry. But whatever. This is what I do. That go now. It's going to stay. Looks like it might stay on at the front. I just get one side at a time. We'll do the back first, and then we'll do the front later. Once the back is completely dry. In the meantime, I'll start on the other side. Glue down. Yeah, this side's even worse. Once I got this part in. Oh no, that's a bit better. There. I think this side's actually, no, it's not. I was just about to say it fits better, but then as soon as I let go of it, it does that. So it's not better by far. It's not even making any contact. I put glue in there and it hasn't contacted it at all. Let's see how that holds. Hold that for a minute. You can see the gap that this side has all right along here, right? Compared to the other side, where there's almost no gap at all. It's just a very small one. course, when the plane's like this, you're going to see it. It's those little things like that that were, you know, somebody like me building these things, these little things bug you, you know. Even though this plane's going to sit on a shelf, ain't nobody going to really be looking at the underside of it. It's going to be like, ooh, look at that, it looks so cool, and just leave it at that, you know. Like I've heard some guy say, looks good from 3 feet away, but then when you get in really close, it looks like crap, right? Or you know, it's good from afar, but far from good. Depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Is this going to stay? Looks like it. But again, I'm going to have to let that dry completely before I can get in there and actually squeeze that together so that it's nice and one piece. It's not quite. It's close, but there is that gap there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. See that little gap right there? Just that tiny little gap that needs to be closed up. But this thing has a tendency, if I do the front, squeeze the front, the back opens up. And that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. So that is done. So I can leave that. I just want to keep that like this so that I can, if I glance over to it, I can see, oh, it's opened up again, or oh, it's doing good. So the next step is putting the wings together. I might need this for the wings, so I'll keep my tape out. The wings come in 2 halves, top and a bottom, and so I need to put them together. Now I did test fit these when I first got them, but as you can see, it's not a perfect thing. So I might need the tape, I might not need the tape, we'll see. Once I got some glue on there, let's see. We'll see. I might be able to get away with using my little paper clip thingies. I got a bag of these things. These guys, I'm sure you've seen them. Everyone knows what these are. Do this. Holds it together pretty good. Okay. Let's put some glue on this thing. Let's see how we do. Isn't anything stupid I need to put inside them? No, it's just glue the 2 halves together. Okay. This guy on there. Put one at the front here. One at the back. No weird gaps. Oh, looks okay. Looks good. I can probably just leave that just for a couple of minutes and then take those clips off. Let's see how this side fits together. It's about the same. All right. That's ready. It looks like I'm putting a lot of glue on, but I'm just barely touching it, so it's just kind of like making sure I got it in a lot of spots, but there's not a lot in those spots, so I don't want it seeping out of the crease. Okay, there. There. There we go. Yeah, looks all right. Okay. That's done. And again, I'll probably just leave it for just a couple minutes and I'll be fine. Put the rest of those back in the bag. Okay. Oops. All right. Now, holy crap. Fine. What's next? That's done. So they want me to put the wings in the bottom. Came apart. All right, let's re-glue that, and I'm going to put the clamp on it. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Don't put it up there. It's going to fall. Just like my phone did twice. But it fell because I had the phone on top of the clamp and it fell off the clamp twice. Anyway. So, so they want me to put the wings on that now. And obviously I can't do that. And then they want me to put the two halves together, which again, obviously I can't do that. So, what can I do? I can start the assembly of the engines, the rear part, or at least start painting them. And the landing gear bay doors, landing gear bay, landing, yeah, the bay doors, whatever, that those I can paint. all the landing gear. I want to find these pieces and find out what these are for, because they are weird looking pieces, and there's two of them. So I want to find out what they are. Is that actually the landing gear? One is a lot longer than the other. What's the index number of these? 53. So I'm looking for 53. Yeah, that is part of the landing gear. It's part of the rear landing gear. So all this is going to be white. So I can just spray paint that right on the sprue. I just have to clean them up a little bit because they got a little bit of extra flashing on them. So I will do that. That's a pretty big piece. Okay, let's take these off. Let's make sure that there's go. Looks a lot better. It's kind of funny. These two, it's like they're left and right, but one has this long piece on the bottom of it, and one that's much shorter. I don't know if it's supposed to be taken off of there. Maybe they showed that in the picture. Oh, I'm supposed to remove those parts. That would explain that. There. Problem solved. It's kind of like many things in life, right? You got a problem with it, just give it a snip. Maybe not certain things. But you never know, right? Okay. Those are cleaned up a little bit. So they'll look a little better once there's paint on them. Alright, so what I can do is this out here, and I have a little bit of a It's a little template I made, but I can just kind of cover that, and I can spray paint it. That'll take care of any overspray on other parts, right? Because I don't want to necessarily spray the whole thing white. I just want to do these. And yeah, I mean, these Sidewinder missiles, they may be white. I don't remember exactly what color they're going to be, but yeah, so I'm going to paint these guys white anyway. Right there. And I'll lay down a coat on these guys. This is flat white I use, not gloss. I find when you get to the later stage and you want to do the like a wash on them, the flat white really pulls in and really looks good, better than the gloss, at least in my opinion. So yeah. There, so you can see now I've painted those, and now it's only those things that are painted because I masked off. Use my little template on there to make sure I didn't accidentally spray anything else. Which in this case probably doesn't matter. Like, oh no, I painted the missiles white, and they're probably going to be white anyway. Right? Like, who cares? Okay, those are done. What else? Anything else needs white? I'm on a white kick right now. What else do I need? What are those things? Those are part of the rear engine. Rear engines? Oh, because there's front engines? No, there's not front engines. This side of the landing gear pods. That needs to be white. Okay, done and done. That's garbage. Yes, that and that. Okay, done. That. Yeah, see, some of the colors of this, the instructions are really want you to paint them. They're really like, when you look at pictures of real F-14s, it's like, that's not supposed to be that color. For example, this here, right there, the top part that goes right there on the engines, okay? It's calling to paint that silver, okay? Now that's just this little part, like right here, just this part here. I don't know if you can see where the outline of it is, but just that little section there. They want that. The instructions say paint it silver. You go online and you look at pictures of F-14s. That part looks black. It looks black. It looks definitely metal. Definitely like very dark color, like a super dark gray, but probably black. Why did Revell say, hey, let's paint that silver? It's going to look weird. It's going to look wrong. You're going to see pictures and you're going to say, I painted my model wrong. That's kind of why like this day and age is so great, because because you can just Google anything and see what it's supposed to be. Google Maverick's F-14 from Top Gun, and you get all kinds of pictures and crazy stuff like that. And it's like, yep, that's how I want it to look, and that's not what they're telling me to paint it like, but I want it to look like that. And yeah, it's like, why did they do that? I don't know. So I'm not going to paint that silver. I'm going to paint that black because that's what it's supposed to be. I'm curious because I know that all they've done is rebranded this thing as Mavericks, and so obviously Revell has made an F-14 Tomcat model before, and it just didn't call it Mavericks. Did they change the color because they wanted it unique for this, or did the other model actually say, hey, this is silver, I want this silver, you're supposed to do it silver? I'm just curious if that's the way it is on their other versions of this plane, or if they did that just for Mavericks. I need to add another coat on these. Get them nice and white. There we go. It's amazing what a second coat of paint does. You go from, it looks okay, to, wow, that's white. Okay, let's see how my wings are doing. I think they're going to be okay. Definitely not as much tension on them as on the lower fuselage. Feels a bit rough along that edge. I think I want to sand that down a little bit. This just feels rough. This one's not so bad. I'm going to get one of my little foam files here. Put it in there. From my new kit. Yeah, that's nice. I don't want it too crazy, but I do want to file it. Two. I need a little more. This is pretty rough. But that's what I need. It's better. Yeah, it's just where it's not lining up absolutely perfect. That's why it's feeling like rough. Yeah, this one's in much better shape. Much better. Nice. All right. Again, that's one of those things that nobody will notice except me. Okay, so these are done. Put my clips back in the bag. Oops. All right. This way. Now, how's the fuselage doing? You gonna stay together, or are you gonna come apart again? You know, I don't trust it. I want to leave it for like, I don't know, an hour or so, just to make sure. Normally the glue dries nice and fast and whatever, but I'm just I'm skeptical of it now. Let's just put it back up there, and we're just going to leave it. I can paint a little bit on the engines, on the top, but on the actual engines, not on this. Let's go back. We got these guys. Little ice cream cones. I just call these things ice cream cones. Okay, there's that. And then there's two round things I was looking at. Where they go? These guys go inside the engine. But I think I want to paint them before I put them in there. They go inside. Doink. They go in there like that. But I think I want to paint them first and then put them in there. See, again, they want this to be gunmetal or like a burnt steel kind of thing, because it's going to go like that on there. I think I just realized what there's another sprue with a bunch of little parts on it that I didn't see in the instructions, and that's these guys. And I'm gonna guess these combine and they go on this to make the engine, the actual cone coming out. Six per side. So if that's the case, I need to paint those things. But there's no instruction to do so. They don't even have this listed. Like even in the parts list here, they show that these are not used. And also, neither is the little radar thing at the bottom that goes underneath the cone, the nose. Um, they have the provision for it right there, right? But in the instructions it says, don't use it. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Why would you put the hole in the thing for then if you're not supposed to put it on there? So yeah, again, I think these are for the engine. I could be wrong. It could be to assemble in a cone shape around there, or you just leave it as that. I think in the Tamiya version, it gives you the option of having the cone like this, or it's like the afterburners wide open, right? Or maybe when you turn the afterburners closes. I don't know which is which. But in any case, it looks like they don't want you doing any of their fun. I'm just going to take one of these off and see. Because I really am. I'm just guessing. If I put that there, no. Yeah, see, that's totally, it's wrong. So this is not what these are. I don't have a clue what the heck these are for. But I definitely am supposed to use this. This is on the plane in the movie. And yeah, so screw you. I'm going to assemble this part and I'm going to use it. What the hell? I'm going to put it together now. Get it up there. These two pieces go together like this. Clearly not these great big things on it. Where'd my knife go? It's kind of funny that they include it in the kit, but then they say don't use it. Especially when clearly the plane has it. So it should be used. So why are they saying don't use it? I mean, okay, I get it. If they use the same molds and the same sprue sheets sometimes for similar models and stuff like that, and it gets duplicated, and so you don't actually use these pieces or whatever sometimes. But this is one of those cases where you actually do use it. So why do they say don't? Okay, let the glue dry on that. there's this other little knobby guy. Not sure. This definitely hangs down like that. Yeah. That's what they use. Okay. Done. So, let's suspect the box. And this weird piece too. Those are the mystery pieces, right? Don't know what they use. Don't know what they're for. Back to the engine. Now that I think about it, I think I will just glue these in. And then I will spray paint the engine on the inside with the gunmetal and leave it at that. And that would be good enough. Rather than painting these first, dropping them in, because I got a paint in there anyway. And so if I just hit it with a spray can, it'll paint that, and it'll paint the sides, interior there, like it should be, and that'll be good enough. I don't really need to do any more than that. It feels like crap. It's a shitty job they did in there. What I'm gonna do, see, I guess obviously what they did something, and inside here at the very back, I don't know if you can see, right in the middle there, right in the middle, it's not exactly flat. It's not a flat spot for the glue to stick on the back of this. It's going to be a very shitty surface. It's just barely going to be touching to hold it in there. So what I'm going to do is, since they've already provided me with some holes, I'm going to trim out that center piece right there. And just eliminate that centerpiece, because this is big enough that it will fit right like that. So with the parts that are sticking out from the outer edges, that will be enough of a surface to hold it in there. But I need to trim these things to get that centerpiece out. Ideally, I would just use a Dremel, or even a drill press. Just put that under the drill press and go and drill a hole through there, right, and get the center out. Might be able to get away with some of these. Plastic is kind of, it's soft enough. Yeah, that worked. Drop that in there. Why does it always want to fall upside down? Upside down. Upside down. There. See, that's better. Now it's actually going to hold on like 5 or 6 different spots. Maybe. Let's try that. Let's try this. Stay there and go. Maybe not. Okay. 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The trick will be getting in the right way the first time. Brush doesn't go down that far. I try to do this. Okay. A bit more of a pain than I thought it would be to just put this little back end of the engine in, but now it's in, and it's held in pretty good. And you can see where I've trimmed that off. It's that's how it is. It's okay. Let's see to put it down. Kind of. Okay. Next. Let's get rid of this one. Ping. Let's trim this now, just because any pinching kind of makes it not so good. Is that it? It makes it not so good? That's the technical term? Shut up. Okay. How do you fit? Learn to do this. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Stay there. Frack. again. Okay, drop. Fuck. Drop. Fuck. Drop. Drop. Okay, close. Is that entertaining for you? Is that content? Okay, this one's done. Wow. Okay, done. Throw these little things away. And you might be able to see now what I meant by the rough shape. You can see that. No camera doesn't really do it justice. I guess you have to trust me. The surface that piece was supposed to lay upon is kind of like this. It's not flat, and so fix that. Precious drops, yeah. Oh, precision drops. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly go that far with it. But anyway, where are we here? So those are done. Now I can throw some paint on those things. Just realizing some screw up I've got on my paint on that sheet. So I need gunmetal, 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 gunmetal. Use gunmetal. Light gunmetal. Dark. This will do. Them flying anywhere when I paint them, so turn this into a piece of double-sided tape like that, and now they stick. Realized I gotta do the outside too, so do inside and outside at the same time. One thing that's kind of neat with this gunmetal, just the nature of it, the more you paint on it, the thicker you put it, the darker it becomes. And that's kind of neat how this particular color works. How's my little funky pod doing here? I think I want to sand it a little bit to hide the fact that it's made out of two pieces. So I'm going to be using these guys again. I wanted, I could put a layer, use a little bit of putty to try and fill in any gaps. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think once I got it sanded enough, I can, once it's sanded and then I paint it, the paint will fill in any tiny little gaps, because any gap on this is very, very minute. It's almost not even noticeable. But the fact that it is two pieces is very noticeable, so I just want to file it down. It's quite a bit. It's going to be a lot to file, so scrape away at this side. Just to line up quite perfectly. So on one side it looks perfectly fine, on the other side there's a huge difference. Much better. Smooth it out. That works pretty good. Getting in, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera. I'll try showing you up close, right inside, not there's right where I'm pointing. You can see that it's supposed to be a lens of some sort, and you can see the line in the middle. That's where the two halves have come together, and that's going to be a pain to try and sand away or file away, so I might be able to use my other file that I have, because it has that rounded tip on it. I might be able to use that to kind of get rid of that line in there. I don't think I'm going to be very successful though. It's not really. I think in a sense, the more I try and dig at it, the worse it's going to get. So I think I'm going to just leave it. I will paint it black. And just leave it at that. Yeah. The key will be when I throw a coat of paint on this, how it looks. And if it looks fine, then, you know, then I'm happy with it. Good enough, leave it alone, kind of thing. But I won't know until I actually got some paint on it. I want it to feel nice and smooth when I run my hand over it, right? So that's a good indicator of what it's going to look like think we're going to call that good enough. All right. I am going to paint that, and then we'll see how it looks with a coat of paint on it. What are you doing, Mr. Jet Engines? That's it, painted. Okay, this little guy, I need to do both sides. One thing I need to invest in is like those little tiny alligator clips that I see the guys with airbrushes use, and put a little stick on them, and so you can hold it and spray paint it. I don't have one of those, so I need to get myself one of those. So the color I used was medium sea gray. See how this looks. Give that a minute or 5 to dry. And then I'll flip it over and do the underside. Although technically what I just painted was the underside, because it flips up and goes underneath the plate. Anyway, what can we do next? Tip of the nose, number 71. A little tiny guy that goes right on the tip. Right on here. Yeah. That's ready. They want me to paint this piece gunmetal also. It looks like it has a certain direction it's supposed to go. But at the same time, it doesn't really line up all that great. That's the top. It's not exactly the best mold. It's not perfectly round. It's not specifically, like, to look at it, it's not like, oh yeah, that's the top side. It's just kind of oddly shaped. I think you're just supposed to figure out how to line it up. It's really a crappy piece. I'm almost tempted not to use it. gaskets. It's very weird. Doesn't look good. I suppose that's as close as I'm going to get to. So let's line that up. It's okay, I guess. So that's a little tiny thing I was fighting with. So that's just that little tip piece. I'm trying to decide the best positioning of it. Would have been better if they just molded it on there. It's one piece, but whatever. This guy's dry. Let's flip him over. Go. Let's see how that looks. A few minutes. It's kind of funny. For the first time tonight, I prepared my little water dish to clean my brush so I wouldn't have to get up and go to the sink with it over and over again. And, well, it's been an hour and 45 minutes and I haven't even used my brush yet. I've been spray painting this whole time. But, oh well. Just want to check something real quick here. Okay. All right. The engine's done. Would have been nice if they. If you look at this, you see there's not much between this edge here and this edge, right? It's very small. When you look at the instructions, you see the picture of it. It's a much wider piece. I don't know if it'll focus in that close, but it's a much wider piece. In the illustration, it looks like, you know, it would be that wide compared to this wide, right? And have much more of the lines of each individual little piece as it rotates around. So I'm disappointed in this. It doesn't look right. It just, I don't know. They could have done a better job. Could I have done a better job? No, but they could have. They're the ones who've been building these things for 50 some odd years or whatever. Yeah. What do they call it? The hook that goes underneath and it catches a cable when they're coming in on the aircraft carrier. That needs to be painted. looks like this guy right here. What color do they want that? What weird color do they want? Oh, that's gunmetal. I can do that. That's easy enough. I like gunmetal. This guy, let's try. So let's put him down there for now. Gunmetal. And my little template. So I don't want to paint the white parts gunmetal. I did notice on one of the still shots of the F-14 in Top Gun, on the it was just a shot as it was flying by, and they were flying and they're showing the undercarriage as it goes by. On that particular hook, they've got little white stripes all the way along. It's just like white. And I thought, okay, that's a neat little detail that I should paint when it comes to that point. So I'll have to remember that when it's time to put this, take this thing off, to paint some white stripes on it. Now in hindsight, I was thinking I should have painted the white first, and then put little black stripes. You know, it's like that whole thing with a zebra. Is a zebra white with black stripes, or is it black with white stripes? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Who cares? But that's that. Yeah, that's painted. I gotta wait for that to dry. I can't do those doors. A lot of this stuff, I kind of have to wait until stuff is dry. I could put the landing gear wheels together. Here's the thing. Do I paint? You know what? I'm going to paint these guys first. Hey, I'm going to use my brush now. It's kind of funny. I'm just realizing that I keep on looking in this direction while I'm talking to you. I'm actually looking at my monitor, looking at my screen. My camera's up here. And I should be looking up here if I'm trying to talk to you. But I keep on looking at myself on the screen. Before I do this, let's take a look at this thing that I spent all that time filing it down to try and hide the seam. And here's the results. Look at that great big seam in the middle there. That's going to require some putty to cover that up. I will do that another time. For now, I'm going to paint some black. I was debating whether to actually buy the specific color for the tires, because there is a rubber color that you can buy that I never bothered buying for the tires because, well, tires are black, and so I'll move this because I don't want to dump it over. Tires are black, and so I just paint them black. In real life, the black of a tire fades to that color that rubber is, so it would be more realistic if I actually painted them that color. But I don't know. It's one of those things I just never really worried too much about. Tires are black, I've got black, so my tires are going to be black, you know. There we go. One quarter done. Shit. This one looks like shit. I'd say Maverick landed a little hard and he warped his rim. And that's why this one it doesn't look perfect. I might touch it up later. I might say, who cares? I don't know. Burn that bridge when I get to it. Three-quarters done. All right, so those are done. And the other side. So once those are dry, I can assemble the two halves. Oh, I got these little guys to do too. Almost forgot about them. These are the front wheels. A whole bunch of flashing on the tires. Didn't notice until looking up close at them. better. One side done. One thing I would like to see is, if you're building a car model, a lot of times you have like real rubber tires and you have like your chrome rims or whatever, right? And the rims are usually two halves that you squeeze and on either side of the rubber tire. I'd like to see that adopted on airplane models, because the wheel is clearly big enough that they could mold an actual rubber tire out of it. And then you could have actual real rubber tires on an airplane model, just like you would have on a car model. And I'm sure when you get into like the bigger scale model planes, sure, they probably have them. But what about the regular ones? The 148 scale, the 172s? If they can make car tires that are that size, right there, if they can make car tires that are actual rubber, why can't they make plane tires? I think they can. I think they probably do it no problem. Alright, time to turn the water black. Counting down the time, I've got an hour left. Wonder what we got next. Tires made. I could put the actual landing gear together. There's a couple of pieces I need to assemble on them. That can be next. So I take 63 and 52 and put those together. So two are going to go together. It's kind of the drawback to painting them ahead of time, is then you take them off the sprue and then you got to clean them up, which takes some of the paint off. But it's easier to touch up afterwards. And the one thing that's kind of neat about the white landing gear is when you put the black wash on them, it makes it look really highly detailed and realistic. And it also kind of makes it look like shit. But it looks cool at the same time, if that makes any sense. Because you really see all the detail, and you see, you know what, landing gear on the real planes is not pretty. You get all kinds of the oils and everything, and the grease from all the hydraulics, you know, from seepage and stuff like that drips down over them. It's not like, hey, our landing gear's getting dirty, we need to clean that. They don't care about that kind of shit as long as it works and it's not going to interfere with the operation of it. So it doesn't matter if it looks pretty or not. So there we go, we got two pieces put together there. That's going to be one side. Next is the other side. In fact, once the paint is dry on the tires for the rear landing gear, I can assemble those tires and put them on here. And then we'll be one step closer to actual assembly. What am I doing? It's not the one, this one. That's what happens when you don't wear your glasses and you just reach out and grab things. Not that I reach out and grab things all the time without my glasses on, or even with them. Not without consent. It's always consensual. All the grabbing I do is consensual. Okay, now when I did grab this, it felt like it wasn't really held together. It is now though. Okay, done. How are we doing here? Doing good, okay. Tires, I think, are dry. I'm gonna have to assemble them, then touch them up. Is killing me. There we go. I would much rather just have to touch up along the edge once it's assembled than to say paint one side, put it down, wait 10 minutes for the paint to dry, then be able to grab it and flip it over and paint the other side. That's why I like painting it on the sprue. Just makes life that much easier. One done. Two done. See, now I can put the tires on there. Certain way that they go on. So you can see there's a whole bunch of, I don't know what you call it. It almost looks like, if I didn't know better, it would look like brake mechanism stuff. You see that on the rim right there, the top edge of the wheel itself, not the tire part. You see that there. It's a little bit of detail on the wheel itself. I don't know if it's got anything to do with brakes or linkage or something like that. It sits at a certain spot on there. And the unfortunate thing is, it doesn't show you in this book. The Tamiya one does, but this one doesn't. So it's like you're just left to guess. I'm going to suggest that it goes pointed down like that. But as you can see here, I don't have this painted completely. You see the two different colors. So I need to hit that with another coat. This one's fine, but I obviously missed that little section on this one. So I'll glue the wheel on this one. And then I'll paint that other one. That with another coat of paint just on that one side. Just so it's complete. Okay. So away. White. Didn't need much, just to cover that little spot that was almost grayed. That, well, it would have bugged me if I didn't fix it. The tail fins have a couple of pieces that need to go on the bottom of them. See how they got that there? There's two little pieces that go on the bottom of the tail fins. Is it tail fins? Yeah, I think it's tail fins. It's not rudders. I saw those on one of these. And this one, I had inadvertently gotten some paint on. I think that's these guys here. You can see there's one that's got some white on it. Because, oops, I didn't mask it properly. 6. Yeah. That's them. So those one, two. Oh yeah, they have it marked off, kind of little indent there. Now you can see if I turn it enough, it might go. There we go. I can see where that goes in there. It goes like that. Clearly a different color. That's okay. I want to get that white off of there, because that's going to interfere when I actually want to. Paint it. Okay, close enough. All right. I need to clean this up. I suppose they did that with these pieces, because on the Tamiya plane, there isn't this part. They've already, it's pre-molded on the wing, which forces the wing to sit at a certain angle. Because you know, on the F-14, the wings aren't straight up like the F-15. They're like this, right? So. In any case, on like that. Just like that. And you're going to be just as nice, and you're going to fit just as nice as the other one. Yes, you are. Good boy. All right. Now those are done. It's kind of funny looking at the wing. It doesn't look like it's angled very much at all. I suppose we'll see once it's actually on the thing. Let's just do a little test fit. So that's what they've done. One slot is longer than the other. And there you get that different angle that it's going to be at, right? Let's hold that like this, maybe. So let's see. There you go. Yeah. There we go. All these tiny little things. How's the paint drying? It dried just fine. Okay. Throw some glue on there. That one. This one's doing good. Yep. I think. Yep. You're lined up. Yep. All right. These are done. Now I could technically paint those tires and just get that touched up like I need to. As you can see, it's that little spot there on the tire. That's where it was connected on the sprue. So I just need to touch that up a little bit. Just a little there and there. I'm done. And the tires will be done. Tail fins are done. Tires are done. Next page. It's all kind of assembly of the undercarriage parts. The front landing gear has a ton of pieces on it. I'm really surprised. You know, the level of detail that they've done on this plane is not that fantastic, but then all of a sudden the front landing gear has like 7 or 8 different parts on it. Just on the front landing gear alone, like, why all of a sudden did they go to that kind of trouble? I don't know. And I missed where the front landing gear is. So I think I need to paint it still. This is a mystery. Ah, there it is. Mystery solved. For a moment there, I was thinking, holy shit, I don't have the front landing gear. But it's okay, I do have it. So let's get rid of the little man. I don't even know what this is. This is, I think it goes inside the landing gear pod. Yeah. So I think it's going to be white also. Yes, it's inside there. Where's the step to put that in? Back here. Okay, so that needs to be white also. So I'm going to clean up both these pieces and then hit them with a coat of paint. Where's my knife? There we go. And this piece actually looks pretty clean. And just to make it a bit more of a challenge, they have the landing bay cover on there, which of course is not going to be white. It's going to be the same color as the hull, but of course underneath of it is white. So the question now is, do I mask it off before I paint it white, or do I let it be white and then just paint it the gray color after? I think either way I'm going to have to paint it gray. So I think maybe you paint white and then painting gray after is the solution. I think that's the answer to my dilemma. It's kind of funny, Ravel's own mold is cockeyed. So I got a really big crease on this that basically doesn't belong. That's okay. I'm gonna cut this one here and here, so that I can get that painted without any problem. I won't have to worry about touching up the white on it later. And I'm going to do the same on this piece. One thing I didn't mention before, in the cockpit, you have the main, the pilot's joystick control, and last time I took it off the sprue. I painted the actual handle with black like it's supposed to, and then I had it sitting here, and then yesterday I was going through my things to move aside stuff because I was working on the cockpit itself, and got the seats painted and everything like that, and all nice and ready to go. And oh yeah, I still have to paint the buckles on there. I'm looking for the joystick and it's gone. It's completely gone. It's not on my desk. I looked all around on the floor. It's not on the floor. So, Maverick's F-14. Mine doesn't have joystick control. And, well, that's the way it goes. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. It might turn up. It might turn up somewhere. I really don't know. I think I've looked everywhere that it could possibly have gone. And no idea. Just gone. White landing gear. Yeehaw. Okay. What do you think? You figure this has been held together long enough? You figure the glue's dry on this now? I want to say yes. Part of me says no. I hope yes. I'm going to take it apart. If that comes apart again, I will glue it a third time, and I will leave it overnight. So that's all I can do, really, right? Because that's how it is now. It's nice. It's proper and the way it's supposed to be. Except for the tiny little gap up here at the front. I'll give this a few minutes and we'll see if that comes apart. I'll see. We're going to test it. If that comes apart again. And if it doesn't come apart, I will glue the front and clamp it down and go from there. Okay. I can, however, there's a couple of other pieces for the front landing gear that I'm sure I have not painted that need to be painted. Number 31, 32, and 69. So where are we here? 31, 32, and 69. I don't think any of those are on here. It does not look like it. What about here? Does not appear so. Anything else I missed? It's like extra arms. Don't seem to be on any. There's missiles. A man. Every piece that I don't use any parts for. There's only 2 on here. Does that make it clear? Number 69? I can go with no. I don't think so. Oh, it is. 69. It looks huge in the picture, but it's just this tiny little clear piece. It's like the headlight, I guess. Or landing light? No, it's a headlight. Oh, and there's a decal to put on it too. Okay, so I cut open the bag. Nice and crystal clear. I think we'll put the decal on it. Oh, it's just sitting on here. Yeah, it goes on that side. Let's see what the decal is. It's something stupid just to make it look like it's a light. And I'm not going to bother. Number 33. Oh, it's the red, white, and blue lights. I don't know if you'll be able to see right below my finger. It doesn't do justice. There we go, right below my finger, number 33 there. Yeah, I'll put those on. This tiny little light. Is it worth it? I could just as easy take my brush and go dunk, red, dunk, blue, and call it a day. Especially something that tiny. Yep. Minor detail. Let's get it glued on there first. I'll glue it on there first and then I'll paint it. was on the sprue, it felt like it had a slot in it too. Yeah, there we go, the other side. Okay, so it's got a little slot in it just to make it mount right there. Okay. Just like that. Can you see it? It's right here. Little clear lens. Can't really see. You can sort of see it sticking out. Right there. Once I get a tiny drop of red and a tiny drop of blue, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Red and blue. Careful. Okay, that's literally it. A tiny, tiny red dot, a tiny, tiny blue dot. Now let's see if we can see them. Let's see if I hold that up. Can you see the tiny red dot and the tiny blue dot? No. How about here where this one zoomed in a little bit? Bring it up to here. Just in the right light. You can see right there. Little red dot, little blue dot. Whatever. In any case, these other two pieces that are supposed to go on each side, I don't seem to be able to find them anywhere. It's number 12. I don't see them. I don't see any little arms anywhere. And that's a problem. So maybe they came off somewhere. Or I'm looking in the wrong spot. See, there's 11. Where's 12? 16, 17, 62, 11, 45, 53. The numbers jump all over the place, but there's no number 12. not on this one. There's no number 12 on this one. Those are the only two screws that I have left, other than the weird one. There's a weird one which doesn't have anything like that on it. It's literally, I'm missing the parts. I'll show you what the parts are. Those guys right there. So this one here, that guy there, and there's another one on the other side, right there, him. They're both the same number, and they're supposed to go on each side. And I do not have them. I don't have a sprue that has those parts on it. So I don't know what they did. They forgot to mold them. I really don't know. It's one of those things. Maybe they disappeared when I lost the joystick. I don't know. But that is two pieces I literally don't have. And it's not like I mistakenly put them somewhere else. I never even took them off because I wasn't ready for anything like that yet. So I don't know. As far as that, fortunately it's not anything that's going to prevent me from continuing with the build. It's just a piece that's I'm supposed to have and I don't. So yeah. I guess what I will do now is I need to paint this silver because that's actually the hydraulic cylinder ram that goes supposed to go up and down. Well, it doesn't do this, but this part does that. Anyway, so that's going to be silver, and while I have my silver out, I will paint the buckles on the seats. So that's easy enough to do. I'll do the buckles first. I need my tiny brush for that. Just such a tiny, tiny little detail. These are done. This guy. Actually, I'm cheap brushes. Because once I've done that, clean the brush off almost dry, and then add some weathering to the seats. To show some exposed metal. So as you can see, the seat's just plain black, and you can't really, especially on the camera, you can't really see any detail because it's just plain black. So I add some weathering and get my brush, and I'll have it almost dry, and then I'll just kind of brush it over almost like a dry brush, and that will highlight all the edges and will make it look much better. So first, let's get the cylinder painted. Nice shiny silver. Okay, that's done. So now it's silver. Let's see, yeah, you can sort of see it. Okay, that's done. Now, I'm going to dry off the brush a little bit. And then just highlight some of the parts of the seed. This will be a little bit harder to do on the other one because it's already in the cockpit. But that's okay. That's alright. So I don't know if you'll really be able to tell on the camera. No, yeah, it's a little bit easier to see. Maybe on the dark background. If I turn it, I don't know. Hard to tell. I can really tell live here, but it's a little bit difficult through the camera. And of course, without my glasses, suddenly I'm farsighted. I'm just trying out. There we go. Now it's been highlighted and it looks a little better. Not the best bottle for that one. It's almost time for me to call it a day. I think I might actually just leave it at that for now. It looks like the piece on the fuselage is staying together because it is still together. But I'm going to have to call it quits for the night and continue this on. I might be able to do another stream on Friday. Otherwise, if I'm not, then I'll have to do it on Saturday. But I am going to call it a night. We've got some progress done, even if the fuselage did slow us down a little bit. We got lots of the little parts were done and they're ready to go. Just about. I mean, I could put on the weathering before I install them, but it doesn't really make much difference because I'm going to do it anyway. But whether I do it before or after makes no difference. It could be that once it's installed and it's actually, you know, this is actually sitting here and it's, you know, it's on the plane and I drop it on the floor. Once it's actually on here and then everything is put together, and could be pieces that are going to be interfering with painting it to get that weathering on there. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Where the heck did that fall? As I roll my chair and I hear a crunch. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to leave that as it is for now and continue on next time. We have to put the front landing gear tires on each side. I have to paint the landing gear bay doors for the rear landing gear. Of course, this has to be painted white, so I gotta hit that with hit these with a color white. Yeah, they actually want me to paint this part here on the tire. It's right at the bottom. They have it marked off with a color code, and I don't know what it is. Silver. So I want that silver too. Okay, that's fine. So I gotta do that. We actually have to backtrack and install the wings, and then put the two halves of the fuselage together. So I might work on that next. I feel like that's going to be a whole bunch of let's get it done and then wait a whole lot as it dries. That sure took a long time to line up. This is kind of the way the wings are going to go. Like that. Just like that. I was actually contemplating, should I grease the middle there, where these collide, to make it a nice smooth transition, but I don't know, I don't think so. So yeah, that's the way this goes. Is that better? Yeah, that's where it goes. Anyway, that's that. We would call it a night. Call that part 2. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, head on over to my YouTube page and have a look at my past videos if you'd like. Hit a like and a subscribe if you feel like it. Also check out my Instagram. I've got pictures on there of past builds I've done, my other planes and stuff, if you want to have a look at those. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.